Hi everyone, we are Ilya and Azra, and after a couple of years of research, planning and saving up, we finally bought a van. It is an old hunk of rusty metal, but it's what we will hopefully be calling home for a while as we test out the viability and sustainability of the van life lifestyle in Eastern Europe. Welcome to Vanlifia.
We got amazing news. We've been to the bodywork guy and he gave us a quote of 350 marks. That's for like 3 of the main places where it was hit and where it's rusty that actually affects the functionality of the van, whereas how beautiful and stuff, that's a time for another year because that's a big investment. So now what we can do is start taking out the old floor because that's gonna have to be replaced anyway. The problem is I tried doing that already one day and there are all these screws. I need to show you this. So I suppose these are the original screws and they're really hard to get to because they are like under levels of dirt. And then you have these screws, which are probably the newest screws because they look pretty clean and unused. And then you've even got like nails, which has me wondering what on earth were they nailing this to.
Hello.
Not as bad as it could have been. It's very possible that this floor hasn't been changed in 20 years since its original creation. So it's really dirty, so we got a broom to take care of it. Some of the corners have like layers of dirt and silicone and whatever was holding the floor down. We got some rust spots here, which we'll need to get. These are fresh. I don't know why they were drilling them for. See, all along the line, whoever designed this van decided that it was a good idea to put holes in the body and drill the floor down. Pretty much impossible to get rid of these screws because they're so old. I already broke several screwdriver heads. So I'm just jamming this old hammer in and then prying it off. We're gonna have to call it quits for today. It's getting pretty dark. But we cleaned out all of the major dirt. Now it has to have a good wash up and then take off the rust and then do some rust treatment and painting, and we're good to put the new floor in, or at least do the major body work. We found one more spot, but that shouldn't be a problem for the body work guy to solve, so we'll see how that goes. Day 2, time to do some more work. Got some cleaning liquid. It's not very sunny today, it's kind of rainy, but I mean, not every day can be sunny.
Sunny!
Woo!
I beg your pardon?
It's already afternoon and it's getting dark. We brought these lights that we got on eBay several months back and a power bank, and hopefully that'll give us some light. It's not supposed to be blinking like this, and we'll see how it performs in the dark later. The front part of the van is almost done, but it's getting dark. I think it's time to turn the lights on. How does that song go? Baby, lock them doors and turn the lights down low. Half is done. There's the other half. Well, it's actually like 2/3. But we don't want to open all the doors because we're right across from the police station. So we're kind of trying to keep stealth mode because we're in a city parking lot and people are looking at us strange. So that's the reason. Oh, someone's parking up right next to us. Nice. I think we can call that a good day's work. It's pretty dark outside. I wanted to do some of the electrics today, but that's not gonna happen because it took such a long time to clean it and we still need to clean it more. So electrics for another day. Well, for the time being, we've done everything we can on the inside prior to the body guy fixing it, so let's take it to the body shop. Honey, you got some sunshine on your face. So we took our van to the body shop to get some of the major rust spots fixed, and in the meanwhile, the two of us had our birthdays, which are like 2 days apart. And as you can see, a lot of snow fell. But for my birthday, I got some awesome stuff like this Joby Gorilla Pod thingamajig, which is amazing. It's legit, it's the real thing. But the most meaningful present was from Azra, and it's this little tree in my backpack, which we are going to plant. But last week, it was these awful storms and rain, so we couldn't even get on the mountain. But today, the weather's perfect, so we're going to plant a tree. So this spot here is particularly special to us because some years ago when we were first going out, this is where we said our first unofficial vows, even though we're not married just yet. This little place is gonna be the spot for our new little fern. Well, the tree is in the ground. Hopefully it survives. We'll find out next year because we're not exactly botanists or experienced tree planters. But it's time to hurry back because it's getting dark, it's getting cold, it's getting slippery. I know it's a pain getting up here. And so we find ourselves in the city of Split by accident. And we are here on a sort of New Year vacation, but there's also a very good functional reason as far as the van is concerned. I'll tell you in a second. First of all, a little bit about Split.
Split is a beautiful city on the coast of Croatia with a history and culture to admire. It was founded as a Greek colony, was home to the palace of a Roman emperor, the capital of several republics and kingdoms, and is currently the second biggest city in Croatia. Throughout history, it has been a beautiful palace, a heavily fortified fortress, a commercial port, and numerous other roles of which it tells many tales. Now, it's a popular touristic destination thanks to well-preserved architecture and historical monuments, as well as a fairly pleasant climate most of the year. There's much to see and do, eat and drink, and we very much recommend this destination to anyone who hasn't been there yet.
Now, aside from wandering the lovely streets of this beautiful labyrinth, here is why we're really in Split. So there's this Dutch company called Victron Energy, and they're pretty much all things electric, especially when it comes to van life, all things van life appliances, and things like that. Now, the problem is Victron does not have any dealerships in Bosnia. Their only dealerships are in Belgrade and in Zagreb, which are like a ways away and not in the way of going anywhere. And they have a couple here in Split. So combining your vacation with going to get some Victron devices, great idea. The truth be told, we're gonna need a lot of Victron devices, but for this minimum viable van, we're only gonna go with one. Now we just hope, fingers crossed, that the shop works, and because of Corona and everything, and we get what we need. You can really get lost in here, in a good way, of course. Boom! Believe it or not, they had this thing in storage, which is literally the best thing that happened to us this year. That doesn't say a lot. It's literally been 6 days in the new year, but we got ourselves our first piece of serious tech that goes in the van. This is the Victron. Wait, let's zoom in a little bit and see what it's all about.
The Victron Energy Orion TR is a DC to DC charger specifically created to connect your van's starter battery to the leisure battery that will run all your electrics. It has a smart system of only charging your leisure batteries when your motor is running. That way your main battery doesn't get empty if your vehicle is powered off. Like all their other products, it has a beautiful minimalistic blue plastic housing with your odd piece of information or some kind of signal light, like this Bluetooth signal in the corner. On the bottom, you have the power input and output sockets, as well as a port for an optional remote switch. And on the back side, you have the lovely black cooling fins.
So while we're in Croatia, the bodywork guy did really decent work on the parts which were in question. I did ask him not to do like any fancy cosmetic work to make it look pretty. Just, you know, clean up
fix it up and prevent any further rust or corrosion from going on. And I'm especially for the parts of the body that were dented in, there were like holes where rain could get in, so they fixed that and I'm really satisfied. And we're going to get insulation now. Well, we already got it, but that's in the next video, so keep your eyes peeled and your ears open, or just see you guys in the next video. Insulation, painting, fun stuff.